Hello, and we're off to a great start because my microphone is not working on the overlay. Let me restart the overlay. It's always good when you start with things broken. Let's try now. There we go, my mouth moves. So, how is everyone this evening? Hope you're all doing well. Welcome to the stream. We're going to be doing an overlay stream tonight. So we're going to be building some more stuff on this place. Specifically, we're going to be getting subscription notifications finished up and then working on raids. So we'll see how things go with those. Let's see. Is there any news? Not really. I've managed to get a few bits and bobs done, so I can show you some debug options. So what we have first is I have the ability to test follow if it works. Oh yes, I haven't actually implemented them in this build. So we will have to go over to the conference room and have a look in Unity. So if you follow me over here. Right. So let's have a look in Unity. Scale that down because I'm also going to want to open up Visual Studio, and once that is opened, that can sit over there. Okay. Right, so let's set this playing, and I can show you what I have set up. So, we discovered there we go. So if I just lock my controls there and we restart in Unity, just going to take a little while to get properly set up in Unity, but once it has done, there we go. So I now have the ability for my Stream Deck to send test API calls. So the first thing I can do is I can send a test follow, and this basically sends it through the follow API. So we've had this before where it will show up saying just thank you for following, but then we have subscribers where I had got it where it was displaying the message, but what I have now is it will also fetch the user's image and it will stick it on my body. So if we do just a regular sub, say someone subscribed, and you can see they've now appeared as a sticker. If we do a gift sub, that has a different thing, and now that appears as a sticker. So we now have the ability, I can throw more bits and pieces on. Now there are some things I want to do. First off, I want to make sure stickers don't overlap. So we're going to have a few predefined locations, probably way more than we actually need. But I want to make sure that they can't actually overlap. The next thing is I want to be able to come up to a camera and basically pull the camera down. So we will see what happens there. Hey Kieran. So, did you see any of what I was showing off there, Kieran? Because I can show it to you afresh. Once it engages. That's okay. It just means you get to see this afresh. So we have what we saw before, which is the follow alert, but I managed to get the avatar downloading working for subscribers. So if we try just a regular subscriber, their avatar now appears down here, and if I do, for example, a gift sub, that now appears down there. So yeah, we're going to play around, just make sure the placement of these doesn't overlap, and then work on getting work on getting it so I can move the camera down. So what we are going to do is do we have any don't really care about that. But yeah, I'm pretty pleased with how it's been turning out. So at the moment, for the position, so this is what we need to work first, is we just pick a random X and a random Z, and the Y we just increment it ever so slightly so that new ones always go over old ones. What we want to do is we probably want to create a random, we want to create an array of positions that they can appear in, and then randomly select one of those positions, so that way we can't overlap, because what we can do is remove. So private private list vector 2 are valid positions is going to equal if we do it like that, what we can do is when we start private void start, we can create our valid positions, so we can go through here. So I mean, we can put that there. In fact, we can click start at the top and have it private void generate valid position, and then we can have private vector 2 get next valid position. How am I doing? I am doing well. I'm mostly surviving the heat. It is warm, about 26 degrees in my office at the moment, but it is starting to cool down. I have the windows open now and there's a bit of a breeze coming in, which is good. So hopefully it will cool down enough over the next few hours, and I'll be able to actually get some decent sleep. Well, get some sleep. The temperature doesn't seem to affect whether or not my sleep is decent or not these days. Right. I want to go up here. I'll start. So how are you dealing with the heat, Kieran? We're going to create ourselves a grid. 2. Let's say 2, 3, F. By the way, how does the music sound in relation to my voice? Like, is the music a bit too loud? A bit too quiet? Went for a walk this morning. Yeah, I did the same. I went for a walk pretty, I think it was around 9, so managed to avoid the worst of the heat. I'll probably be doing the same tomorrow. I made the mistake of trying to do some DIY last night, thinking, oh, it'll be a bit cool. Okay, well, I am currently at 0 dB, so let's reduce this. How about now? I've reduced the music by about 5 dB. Because I was playing around with the computer audio because I wanted the alerts to come through and sound over. This will all be a lot easier when I can use OBS 28 on macOS 13, because then I will be able to capture audio from OBS directly from applications, which means I'll be able to hopefully capture my capture the music app in one thing, capture all my other stuff in another thing, and be able to basically just pull the audio in and balance it separately, rather than having to balance it in OBS and then balance it in another app that collects them all. So but yeah, I was doing some DIY last night, which was a mistake. I've basically, I think I mentioned before on stream that I've got a pegboard to go up in my garage to put tools on. And what I want to do, because it's been fixed to the wall, I got some wood to be to use as battens on the wall, so that I can make sure it's fixed into the studs rather than needing like proper plasterboard hangers and all stuff like plasterboard fixings and all stuff like that. So I got the piece of wood, I cut it, and then it was okay. I think I know where the studs are so that I can actually drill in. It felt like I was drilling into wood, but then when I started widening the holes, because I just did small pilot holes, I realised, oh wait, I'm going straight through here. So then I had to shift stuff around. I'd already cut the wood and drilled holes in the wood at this point. This was me like, oh, the stud should be here, so drill and mark the points where I've drilled the holes in this piece of wood and then go through, and that was a pain. So I eventually managed to get it, like find where I needed to screw it in. So I had to drill more holes. Then I tried screwing in, and the problem is the screws went in just fine, most of the way, but the last 10% I realised that, oh, these screws are made of naff metal. They hold, but the actual screw heads have pretty much all stripped, so this piece of wood is probably not coming off the wall without a lot of work. The good news is it's secure. The bad news is it wasn't level. Far from it. It was as level as I could get it because neither the wall nor the wood are flat. Now, thankfully, what I managed to do is it was enough that I could get a level line along it, because I then had to put screws on to hook like into the wood so that I can hook these boards on. So I managed to get those level, and I ended up only being about a few mil out on some of them, because it's like 3 panels that each need 2 screws to hook on, and then they also bolt together. So ideally you need them to be, all the screws to be perfectly level, and there's a few mil out on 2 of them. Thankfully, I managed to just wrap some masking tape that I had to hand round to sort of bulk those up, and now it sits on perfectly level. So all I have left to do is I've got the rest of the piece of wood that I need to stick on and screw below so that they're actually not sort of hanging out from the wall at the top and then just falling in, so that at least they're resting on something at the bottom to make them roughly level there. So hopefully I will be able to do that probably Friday. We'll see, it depends how warm it gets, but that should be a lot easier because I don't need to be as accurate with that. I know where the studs are, I just need to screw into those. I mean, I don't even need to screw into them because literally the only thing that needs holding up is the piece of wood. So it's just so the bottom can rest on something to hold it out, so it's more of a spacer than anything. So yeah, but I will soon have my tool storage. So right, so we have all our valid positions and so on. So what we want to do is var position index equals random.range 0 and then max inclusive. So we're going to want valid positions dot length. Or is it count? Dot count -1. And what we want to do is get position equals valid positions position index, and then we want to do valid positions dot remove at position index and return position. So hopefully that works. And then what we want to do here is we get the local position. We're going to get var the next position. In fact, that's fair point. We don't need to do that at all. We can do new vector 3. Actually, we can do var valid var position equals this dot get next valid position, and then we can just set the new one to new vector 3 position dot x this dot current y position dot y, because it's a vector 2 that we're transforming into a vector 3. Get rid of that, so we should get 0 overlaps now, hopefully. Rearranged things a bit. just to see how things look. So, that's okay. Okay. One thing I do need to do is validate positions that count. If valid position count equals 0, return vector 2.0 just as a fallback. Though if we've done that, then we've had a very good amount of subscribers. Why? Not. Well, first off, that needs to be minus 3. Oh yes, it's Swift. Oh, you like the sound effect? Yeah, it's. I think it works really well for a subscriber sound effect. Right. So. Object reference dot not set. Oh. Right. Equals new list. There we go. Right, let's try now. There we go. Right, so I think we need to increment by 1 then. So, let's try now. Try 2 then. Huh. Alright. So that should be at -3, -3, 1 -3, -1, -3, 1 -3. So there should be 4 per thing. So if I do that and I do that, and we can set the Y to 0. Save. And if we reset. Alright, so that appears there. And there. And there. And there. And then it starts appearing as 0. Okay, let's do +3 because at that point that is what? That's going to be 9. So that should be more than enough. Now, if it becomes a problem, then it's a good problem to have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, I think that looks okay. We're good there. So what we want to do is we're going to want to adjust camera. So how do we want to do that? Cam set. Offset on fine, don't care. Third person aim, no. Okay, so tracked object offset. Where are we? Let's think what we want to that current camera image of camera. If I move okay. If I go to here, I want it to be smaller. That is okay, but if I go to here, I want to be able to pull it down. So that is right, so if we're on the main camera and press the trigger, what we want to, let's say we're on here, we have the conference camera. What happens if I go to the bridge camera? Can I? No, I cannot, because that is in aim mode. Welcome back, Kieran. Oh, you got takeaway. What have you got? Anything good? Well, this is okay because I can shift that there. Go down as far as 0.8. Down as far as 0.8, and I want to go up to 0.2. I'm going back to 0. 0.8, and when I release, it goes to 0.2. Oh, right. Okay. Munchbox from a local fried chicken place. Promise your fiance you'd be good and only eat some, so now you have a small plate with a little bit of everything. Nice. Right. So I think I know what I need. At least for the main camera. For this one, you know, for this one, I think I'm going to switch this to tracking mode as well. But the thing is, so let's just give this a go. Let's switch this. Aim. If I look at grid. Is composer. So confidence cam. If I change that to composer, so if we set that to 0.8, 0.8, 0.8, 0.8, it's going to look at upper neck. So I should be able to. That's. Don't want it. That. So we don't want it to do X and Y, but what we want is to let us down to 0.8 and go up 0.2 back to 0. Or can we have it look at so in the conference room, can we have it look at I'm gonna reduce the dead zone, reduce the dead zone. Okay. But when I come up to here, can we have it look at where is cat body? Go back to green. Can hold that and it will go and Yeah, we can have that switch between looking at the screen, and then if we go to the bridge, be here, and then we can have it look at body. Then go back to looking at hip and neck. I think we may want to have it work differently per thing. Because this one, it wants to be looking at the screen. But then we want it at the body. Really, yeah, I'm not going to bother with it in here. We do that. That should basically undo all that. I'm only going to bother with it on the main camera. So if we bring up the camera director. So, camera state collider. Public or main camera allows main camera tilt. And what we're going to do on our bridge collider is enable that. So in the camera director, so we have our toggle camera here. What we want to do is we want to add lock. So we've got toggle camera. We want to add tilt camera, and this is going to be a value control type. Believe we want a double, and I will listen to. Okay, so we don't have not a double. If we do any, listen for right trigger. So the question is, if we go to debug, analysis input debugger, dual shot, bring this across. Oh, that trick. Right. So we have tilt camera, save asset. I want a void on tilt input action dot callback context debug dot log tilt context dot value float. And I should hopefully be able to do this. Dot play input dot character controls dot tilt camera started on tilt. So started performed, cancel. Okay. Why the hell is it called performed? Performed. Okay. It does. So, arc, enable, disable. Arc, tilting. So, what we want is cool is tilting false. What we're going to do is var value equals that. Right, so public float lowest tilt equals minus 0.8f public float lower tilt upper tilt equals 0.2f. So var max tilt equal upper tilt lower tilt minus upper tilt. Oh, we can do tilt equals lower tilt minus upper tilt times value. Tilt mount that bar tilt equals upper tilt plus tilt mount. Alright, so the first thing we want to do is if this dot current collider that allows main camera tilt equals false, return. Because we don't want to do any of this if we don't allow main camera tilt. And do start. Do all of this. Then we're going to do this dot main current collider dot main camera dot get component in the machine. Then go machine that do port also send machine dot virtual camera machine virtual camera dot I need to look up some documentation. So where are we for documentation? Cine sheet. Script. In the machine. Virtual camera. Got to look at the property. What are we wanting on the camera? We are wanting the aim. So inherited members. Can't like that. Right, pipeline. Follow lens. Look at transmission. Pipeline aim. Mm. Lens settings. Nope. Positions, bunting. Nope. Get back. Trigger action. Pause. Component in the body section as a component backline. Showing the fixed relationship to the VCAMs. Follow target with offsets and dampening. Don't want for the follow target. We want so the machine composer. Here we go. Tracked object offset. Right. So if we get a virtual camera, so to get a virtual camera, get Cinemachine component. Right, so debug.log component is going to be Cinemachine.get Cinemachine component. Aim, and we want to get a Cinemachine composer. Using Cinemachine core dot it's Cinemachine core dot machine core dot stage dot aim, I believe. Okay. Alright. So if I do that, once it finished starting up, okay, so can I then do dot tracked object offset? So we'll determine whether we can pull this off. Okay, I believe we can. So we're going to get var composer equals that, and then what we want to do is composer dot tract offset equals new vector 3 0 0 tilt. And then once we get this working, I am then going to... Okay. It doesn't really affect anything, it being up at -0.2. I think that looks okay. What do you think? Just me being able to tilt down only on this camera. It shouldn't work on, yeah, it doesn't work on there, and none of the others track me, so it's not going to make a bit of difference. But on this one, I can now tilt. Now my face goes away, which is a bit annoying and weird. I wonder if that is which camera? Oh, we have must literally just be if I here. Yeah, it must just be the location. Nothing to do, it's just clipping. It's as good as we can do. Oh well, that will do. So, what I'm going to do is I am going to have a very short break to get a fresh glass of water, because in this heat you need to stay hydrated. And when we get back, I believe that is subscribers and followers done. We're going to get started on raids. See you in a few minutes. Okay, I am back. So, next up, our raids. And actually, the very first thing is I want to work out why it is so slow at launching. Something has changed, and then we'll get onto raids. So it starts up, get it connected, then it hangs for a bit, and updating count token, updating count token, updating count token. And we get a lot of disconnects. Connect. Which means I go to settings. Oh, sorry, this API.settings that account token. We want to get the account, so it's going to refresh. And then do that and wait. Okay, so I can change that. So first thing we can do is private bool is actually up here. Oh, if is refreshing cat token true return and if seems to be a helicopter going overhead, so oh wow, that's what I think it is. Yep, that's not any helicopter, that's a Chinook. It seems to be flying overhead, or at least I think it is. It's a dual rotor helicopter, so I'm assuming the RAF is doing something. Flying between bases. This is false. What we're going to do here, if that is refreshing hat token. True. Turn. So that should hopefully fix it, because I think the issue is that we're doing a lot of pub sub and they're all failing at once, and then so if I do that, Now that's happening. Not so. This. Right. So where is this code? Just code there. So what we can do is we can get rid of that. Void reset sub. So and to do that, but it's going to be private bool is resetting sub false. If this dot is resetting sub is true, then reset sub. Then what we're going to do is this dot reset sub, and no, this is resetting sub equals true. And then I'm going to take some stuff from the subscriber manager, I believe it was. Yes, here. This is a trick I learned on how you can do some async but have stuff work in the main thread. So what I'm going to do is shove those in there. Hopefully do I mean, we could just refresh access token. Just, yeah, that's a string. So if I do that as a string, we can have this return string, private async string. I'm going to await var response, await that, and then we're going to return response.access token. And this dash count access token, and then we can get here completion source dot task dot result. This that is setting pub sub equals false. And oh, it's async task. Async. Task. Crash. Okay. So then hopefully bug.log pub sub. Hopefully this should only happen once. And debug. Okay. I should be able to do that. Oh. Equal to false, because we want it to happen at least once. There we are, resetting pub sub. Log active pub sub. Debug.log crashing token. Token rest. Why is this failing? So I really ask, and then it never finishes. It like it doesn't. Actually do this. Oh, is it? Oh, someone's at the door. I will be right back. Sorry about that. It was one of my neighbours asking for some information. because as pretty much all of my neighbours and I are dealing with the houses that we've bought, as all new builds are a bit well, they're a bit buggy, put it that way. And unfortunately, the developer is not a developer like me and does not seek to fix their bugs. So, right, where were we? Trying to work out why this is not being called. Right, so it is getting stuck on here. Like that. Hey. Okay. Does that have to be called on the main thread? Nation persistent. Let me. Where are we? Stream overlay. You know what? Let's see if this fixes it. Oh, no, I'm not gonna work. Let's try hard coding the path, because it doesn't like this is only going to run on my machine, so. You started saving to move out of your current flat because you need a bigger space, and what you have is at least 10 years behind in terms of some TLC. Yeah, it's one of those things that it takes a while to get. At some point you get to a point, it's like, do I want to invest more money into this place, or do I want to move somewhere else? And it's even harder if you're renting, because it's like, am I somewhere where I can invest money into the place? And you don't particularly want to, because it's not your place. It's someone else owning it. So, well, I mean, it's partly why I moved, because it was at the point where it's like, well, I could improve the house, but I'd probably have to get everything like replastered and all stuff like that. It's like, I want somewhere that has better parking, is bigger, is easier to cool down, has a bit of a garden and stuff like that. So thankfully I found somewhere, and it's like one of those things, if it's a new build, and yes, it has problems, but all new builds have problems. I mean, I'm getting my shower replaced because the showers ended up cracking because that was not fit correctly. Like I say, half the walls aren't particularly straight, but it's a thing of, yes, there are issues, but at least I'm somewhere where the fundamentals are okay, that I'm okay putting money into. Right. So, let's see if this works. Yes. Okay, so the problem was you cannot call that on the background thread, which I seemed to remember being the case, which is an incredibly ridiculous thing because there's no reason whatsoever that should need to be called on the background thread, but... And it's odd that no errors are logged when it's on the background thread, so that's another thing against it. But... Oh, why does Visual Studio do that? Preferences. Close. Why on earth would you have close all tabs as W? And W. Oh. Okay. You recalled the silicon in the shower because that was dire. Yeah. So the issue with my shower. The shower, the enclosure was too small for the space that they were putting. Rather, it was big enough. It wasn't too bad. It's the tiles. If they'd have tiled a bit more, they could have fit it in correctly. So the problem is the enclosure was in, then the actual tray was shoved back. For some reason they had cut the plasterboard away to shove it back, which is probably because they couldn't properly fit the enclosure in. So the enclosure was sort of at an angle, so where there's meant to be like a lip around the outside and they can properly seal it and everything, it was like the enclosure was overhanging the tray at some points. So the actual enclosure was screwed to the wall but barely siliconed behind it, and the actual shower tray had a few screws that in the legs that screwed into some very, I mean, it was almost balsa wood density wood that they'd put on for the feet to go on, and then the screws were going through the feet into the wood and through the wood into the floor in a few places. So there were maybe 4 screws holding it to the ground, and then it wasn't attached to the wall as it should be, because like the plumber that I've got around said that you meant to sort of put like silicone or glue or whatever around the side that you put against the wall, and you push it against the wall and it seals it against there, and then you seal it. No, it was just a silicone sealant holding it in, because they had nothing to glue it to because they cut the plasterboard away, so it was literally right against the stud walling and where the insulation is. So yeah, it's going to cost me probably close-ish to $1,000 to put right, and that's most because I've got fed up of chasing up the developer trying to get it put right, and they have, let's just say I'd rather get someone in who I know is going to do a proper job of it. I mean, they've been peeling away the sealant all around the window of my office today because I asked them to reseal that because it wasn't sealed properly when I first moved in, and they've used cheap sealant there, so I'm going to get some proper quality sealant and go all around, cut all the sealant away from the windows and reseal all those at some point. So it's, yeah, it's a pain. Anyway, I want to do a commit because we have followers and subscribers working. Okay, so for raids, what do we want to do? One thing we want that we're not going to get just yet is I want no lighting to turn red. And the thing at the moment is we don't really have lighting. I mean, I think we do have some. No, they may actually be disabled. Yeah, so if I enable, so we have lights, but as you can see, they look a little weird. So I need to work out what I want the lighting situation to be. Like, I may like end up doing it. Something like that. So I may do it like that so I can have it flashing or something, but I need to work out what I want to do. I also want it to have a raid alert appear here, and then if I head over here, you can just right. If I do that and start again, then I can do that. And then we've got the communications thing here, where I want to be able to go over here and see it flashing. Do a thing where we will do a camera move, and if I take the bridge alternate camera, turn off save during play, we want it, and now we want it to go. Oh, it's looking at the center console. That now we want to look at com screen. Where are we? Bridge alternate camera. Look at com screen. So it's basically going to be something like that, where it's going to be looking. Why it's not rotating properly, but it's going to be sort of looking over the shoulder at the screen, and I will be able to see who it is. So there is a lot to do. So what I want to do is in Raid Manager, I'm going to put in what we need to do. One, respond to raid notification. 2, create and display raid message. 3, Yeah, for some reason, when I turn on the controller, it changes to that, and I haven't been able to figure out why. So, create display, raid message. Number 3, we want to add raider picture to screen, to com screen, and we want to 4. Or actually, if we wanted to really do this well, add incoming message alert to comms screen on interaction. Show streamer raiders avatar and name. And cancel alert. And then number 5 is finally do texturing and lighting and make sure lights turn red on raid. Okay. So I think we will try to get at least 1 done, possibly 2, because 1 should hopefully not be too difficult. What I want to do is docs.unity 3D, scripting a... no, don't want that, I want Twitch. Documentation. So one thing that's actually quite exciting is Twitch is now adding support for custom tags. So you will be able to add your own tags, which means that I will be able to finally add some tags that I've wanted and needed to add for a while. For example, Swift, Xcode, Mac will be nice. But also, and this will interest you, Kieran, one I was thinking is Animator. Because we have VTuber, but Animator is something a bit different and a bit more unique. Alright, so bits event, bit badge, channel events, channel subscription. Oh! It's on the client. It is... so I should be able to go to Twitch lib. Go to a client. I want to look at models. Raid notification. Display name. Okay. So, if I go to client, can I do a test like I can with PubSub? Be very nice if I could. This method allows the firing the message pass with customized C strings to line for easy testing. Okay, so I think that is what we want. So, is it API manager? Stuff. Nope. Yes, in subscriber manager. So in raid manager, we are going to stream deck button and private void on enable. Stream deck dot add this private void on enable. Stream deck remove this, and the stream deck button is going to go on private void test raid. Right. Configure Stream Deck. Debug API test. Copy, paste, raid, test, raid. Right, so what we need to do is going to be this dot manager dot client dot onRead line test. So what I need to do is go up model red notification. So hopefully I should be able to do that. So what I need to do is chat. Nope, not on chat command. That's PubSub. What do I have that? What do I have? Because channel points, a PubSub. Grab as a PubSub. I don't have anything that uses clients, so I need to go back to here and remember how to use the client. Right. So we just want to do manager.client on raid notification plus equals client on notification. private void client on raid notification. Object sender on raid args that. And we want to in using switchlib.ut. There we go. And then I want to debug.log raid, which is going to be args dot raid notification dot display name. And if I go here and I run, and then down here we're looking for the display name to be sent to us. There we are. Right. What else do I want to do? I want to clear out a bunch of stuff. So we don't need that, don't need that, don't need that, or that. Don't need that, 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 or that. Okay, so we can test a raid coming in. So what we want is, we probably want enum raid state. So we're going to build ourselves a state machine for this. So the first state is starting. And this is where we're going to set the alerts going and make the following on screen. Then we're going to have at screen. So this is going to be when we're at the screen. We're probably going to turn the alerts off at this point, and then we can do on screen, and then we can do finished. And we can do private raid state equals actually want none. I'm going to have private raid notification. That. So what we're going to do here is raid info equals args dot raid raid notification. And this dot state equals starting. Oh, actually, we're going to have a private function, no, private void update state. Made state state. It's actually going to be this dot update state. Made state dot starting. And this is going to check if state this dot state is none, and new state equals starting, and this dot state equals starting start, else if this dot state is equal to starting and new state equal at screen, else if this dot state equals raid state dot at screen, new state dot on screen, else if this dot state is equal to on screen and state to none. Do that. This dot state none. This dot state on screen. This dot state at screen. And then be at screen on screen set. Mark starting. So we're going to have private void dot raid. Okay, I think I'm probably going to call the stream here, because what we need to do at this point is we're going to end up having to add, draw a new raid thing for the hello table to get that displaying. We're going to want the alert to play periodically. There's a model behavior, so we can have that happen on update, where every so often it will play it, wait a bit, play it again. We can have the lights flashing on and off while that is happening, so we can do all this stuff. But yeah, so what I think I'm going to do is probably call the stream, because I've been going a few hours and I really need to cool down. And streaming does not help cool down. So we will probably pick up again, hopefully on Saturday, depending on the temperature. It should be not too bad, I don't think. What is the temperature meant to be? Well, it's meant to be at the same as today, so yeah, we'll give it a go on Saturday and Sunday and see how things go. But yeah, I think that should do us okay for tonight. So, I forgot I am still locked. Hopefully, let's go through here. Hopefully, you have had a wonderful time, and we will again pick up on Saturday doing some more work on Coppice, because we are actually making some progress. And oh, there's an exciting thing. I've actually bought some stuff. So on my whiteboard, I have had a grid. And with this grid, I was initially planning things out, because when I was doing the initial release of Coppice, I had a list of stuff on there, which is, this is what I want to do week by week. So on this, so I got some like tape for the whiteboard, some gridding tape, and I put a grid up. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, so about 8 weeks worth of stuff on, and I can fill stuff out, and I was doing. The problem is that once I have, like, plans can change, so I've got something that maybe took a bit longer, so stuff needs to move down, and then once I finish a week, well, technically everything needs to move up. So I stopped using the grid, because it was like, this is a good idea, but it's sort of not very useful, and I've got to get all the way to the end before I can start planning the next set of stuff. So what I've bought is some coloured dry erasable magnets. So what I'll be able to do, I think they're about the size of like a post-it note, but I will be able to write on these magnets, have them all colour coded, what I want to do, and actually start doing my planning again. So I'll start being able to do my weekly planning. And the key thing is, once I finish a week, I take those magnets off and I shift all the other magnets up, and so far I always have 8 weeks of planning ahead of me. So hopefully I can get a bit more organised, because I need to get organised, because I need to get back into doing things such as writing blog posts and stuff, and marketing and all stuff like that, because yeah, there's no good writing an app if nobody knows about it, and no one's downloading it, and no one's buying it. So yes, once we get this version done, it will be all about updating the website, the purchase flow, getting it on the App Store, and creating some marketing stuff. So we may end up doing some learning how to create and edit video streams. So we'll see how all that goes. But anyway, I want to thank you for coming. Hope you have all had a wonderful stream, and as I say, I will hopefully see you again on Saturday, weather permitting. But until then, hope you have a wonderful rest of your week, a wonderful rest of your evening, and as always, happy coding.